Hello and welcome to a video created by the Center for Migration Research and Development on tools and procedures for respondent identification in panel surveys. Panel surveys are the kind of surveys in which researchers go back to the respondent from the original survey for a second wave of data collection or even more rounds of data collections. Possibly to observe patterns and changes that take place over time. Panel surveys can be challenging because it might be difficult to locate the respondent for the second wave for a number of reasons. They might have moved, they might have changed their contact details, or they may not even be willing to participate in the survey anymore. Therefore, it is important and necessary that a strong set of tools and procedures are in place to successfully conduct panel surveys. In the next few clips, we will introduce you to some of the tools that CMRD has developed to be used in panel surveys and best practices to follow for both enumerators and instructors.
Let's look at the respondent side. Some panel studies probe specifically into information about the respondent. In such surveys, it is very important that we interview the same respondent from one wave to the next. If we interview individual A from wave 1 and individual B from wave 2, we cannot make meaningful comparisons over time. It is also important that the respondent is in the same house or at least in the same environment. In the next video, we discuss the process we developed to identify respondents from wave 1 of a panel survey. Let's look at the QR code. In a panel survey, we collect information from the respondents that will allow us to interview them again in the following waves. Usually, we will have information about the respondent's name, age, address, and contact number. This information is very useful when we try to locate respondents for the second wave, third wave, and so on. However, we must also remember that if we do not protect this information, we will be violating the privacy of the respondents and violating the promise we made to keep their identity anonymous. In large panel surveys involving many sites in different countries, it can be risky to print out this information and distribute among enumerators. Therefore, to avoid this potential risk, we have developed a QR code that allows enumerators to identify respondents easily without this personal information. We will show you how to use this QR code in the next video. What you see now is the sheet each of you will be given. Each sheet will have maximum of 4 or 5 QR codes on one side. The QR code will be used if you want to contact the respondent over the phone prior to the interview. You will open your questionnaire on the Kobo Collect tool on a tablet and scan the QR code just like this, which will then prompt you to call the respondent. We will make up to 3 attempts to call the respondent. In each column, we note down in detail the outcome of the call. We will also record what the final outcome of the call is, if we can do the interview with the respondent or not. We will also write down the first name of the respondent. The instructor will cross-check to confirm this is in fact the respondent from the first wave. Once you complete one call, you will cross off the QR code. For successful ones, you can draw a right mark over the QR code. For unsuccessful ones or not successful, you can cross across the QR code. Your site manager will validate the respondent name and ask enumerator to proceed with the wave 2 interview or not. In the next video, we will take you through the next steps of using the Kobo Collect tool for the questionnaire.
Okay, I will quickly go through the household verification process using Kobo Collect. You can do this either face-to-face or using a telephone call. The first step is that you have to scan the barcode. You see some information about the household on your screen, for example, respondent name, respondent age, household size, etc. If the household had provided a telephone number in the baseline survey, you can click on dial number 1. Your mobile will automatically dial the respective number. However, in some cases, the mobile number is not available. In such cases, you will have to visit the house even for the initial verification. You have also been provided with approximate GPS location. So you can click on GPS location to see that. Okay, let me verify this household. Based on the above and any other relevant information, are you sure that you have contacted the correct household from the baseline survey? Obviously, this must be yes to move forward. Then you get another question: where is the residence of this household? We drop the household if currently not in the previous settlement. You can retain if they live in the same house or a different house, but should be in the same settlement or the village. Can you contact the baseline survey respondent for the present survey? We will retain the household only if we can contact the baseline survey respondent. Please mark the respondent's availability here. This can be at the time of contact or later within a reasonable time. Let's say within a week from the initial contact. The next question is, what do you want to do now? Let's see the options. Well, if the respondent is available and ready to do the survey now, you can select the first option. But remember, you can start the main survey in face-to-face mode only. If the initial verification was done using a mobile call, then you will have to schedule a face-to-face survey later. Then you have to select either option 2 or option 3. Option 2, you obtain a later date and time. Option 3, you obtain later date and time plus some additional information about the location, address, and alternative phone number, etc. You can select the date and also the time. Right. And if it is not possible to schedule a face-to-face survey within a week, we need to drop the household from wave 2. So in that case, you have to select option 4. I hope you get a glimpse of household verification process. Thank you.
Options for site managers and country managers. So you will be given an Excel sheet just like this or a Google sheet containing the unique identification number of household, country, site name or place name, and the name of the respondent and the head of the household if this information is available from wave 1. This information is in addition to the information that will be given to the enumerators with the QR codes. Discuss with the enumerators using the videos we have provided on how to fill the information sheets. Once enumerators complete these information sheets and hand over to you, cross-check to ensure that they have interviewed the same respondent as from wave 1. If not, please discard and ask them to re-interview correct respondent. If there are any concerns, please escalate to country managers. Thank you.
What you see on the screen here is a map that we have developed as a visual aid to kind of figure out where the respondents are located. You can zoom in and out, as you can see. And when you zoom in, you will see the dots more clearly. And if you click on the dot, you will notice that we have that serial number, which we saw in the information sheet that we provided to the enumerators, which was also there in the sheet that's given to the site managers and the country managers. So using these dots, the instructors can decide how best to deploy enumerators to interview respondents in the second survey. So before we wrap up the video, we would like to remind you of a few best practices to follow when you are conducting interviews. First, if you're making calls to respondents, please call them at an acceptable hour. And you must remember that what is acceptable might be different from one country to another and one site to another. If the respondent is a female, please be mindful of when you visit the household. She might be busy with cooking and cleaning in the afternoon hours. If the respondent does not answer the call in the first attempt, do not keep calling them over and over. Please keep a decent gap, perhaps 5 hours, before you make the second call attempt. If the respondent asks you to call at a given time, please make sure you do so. This will show respondents that you respect their time and request. Thank you.